this. All right. Okay, we are going live. Let me see if things are doing well. Okay. All right. I think we are launching live soon. Oh, hi Hui Kwang. Is it live? Oh, yeah, it's live. It's live. All right. So wait for another 1 minute, then we'll start sharp at 8 p.m. All right, welcome back everyone. So this is our weekly pulse, and if you are here early, yeah, welcome to you guys. All right, so we are right now waiting another 1 minute to go, and yep, we'll be starting very soon. So remember, if you are here and then you like to chit chat with anyone right here, our chat box right here is open to everyone, so you can just like chat within our topic lah, of course. All right. Today mic is too big. All right. Purposely go purchase this mic. With our partnership with Shopee. So in our YouTube channel, we have a YouTube Accelerator program whereby they partner with Shopee. And then right now, we're also sharing some products using the Shopee link as well. So this is one of the product we brought using the Shopee link. And then I get myself some revenue, a few cents lah. Huh? All right. Is it karaoke mic? No, actually, it's just prop. It's just prop. Inside is just the mini rock mic. Hi Lee Tiong Kun. Hi Don. Yeah, I think it's Don, right? Don Lee. All right, Don. Yeah. So tonight, we'll be covering a few topics right here. Obviously, we're covering Shopee, which is C Limited, and also we will also be covering some of the latest update or latest movement from Warren Buffett. And of course, this weekend, not this weekend, actually, it's this week itself, towards a Friday, there's a very important symposium, which is the World Financer, the World Banker. They will gather together at this place called Jackson Hole. All right, just like all the economists, all the policies maker, they will gather at Davos, which is the economic forum, World Economic Forum, to discuss about policies, discuss about how we bring better economy to the world. So this upcoming Friday is Jackson Hole Symposium, is how all the finance, all the worldwide financiers will come together and discuss about money. New camera, actually it's not new camera, it's the same camera, it's Osmo Pocket 3. All right, so if you like to purchase Osmo Pocket 3, we have a YouTube link or YouTube Shopee affiliate link right there. All right, so right now time is 8:01. We will start we will start right now. Hello everyone, welcome to WealthPulse, our weekly WealthPulse Tuesday live at 8 p.m. So in these WealthPulse sessions, we will be sharing with you guys what is the market updates, what is the companies that we look at. So in the end of the day, investing is a long game. Investing is also a personal game. We hope by these sessions, we can build up your investing confidence, your own market confidence, so that in the end of the day, you will remove your anxiety and invest safely, peacefully, and happily. So this is the objective of WealthPulse. And in this segment or in this 1 hour itself, there's 40 minutes that we run on YouTube. There's another 20 minutes we run on our private community through Zoom. So the first 40 minutes, there will be two segments. First segment, we'll talk about market updates. Second segment, we'll talk about the companies that we are looking into. The third segment, which is our private community, we'll go deep dive into some of the companies that is not so well known in the sense it's not big brands, big name, big market cap, but some of the opportunities that we can look into. Right. So these are the companies that we'll be talking about. So in the third segment, which is tonight, we will talk about this company called ARM. So I know Kun Kun may not be like it, but it's another community member, which is Rupert. He said, why not we just look at it and then just discuss about this company? Yeah. So I took some time, took some energies to look into this company and find some of the things whereby you know this term called hidden champion. In other words, these are the companies that are B2B. They are not well known in the industry, but they are so-called the persons that monopolize or in a very niche segments, they are the only player. So ARM has this character that we'll be talking about tonight. Yeah, Rupert favorite. So hopefully Rupert will be here tonight as well and then share with us some of his insights on what is this company about. Because for me, I'm pretty new in this like semiconductor chip sector that I just learned about recently, or just this 1 2 years itself. There's so much players, there's so much insights, there's so much so-called technical knowledge that required to understand this industry. Uh, but some of the numbers itself, so for example, the market shares, their revenues, some of the stories, we'll be sharing with you in the segment later itself. All right. All right. So Kungo said new quality actually it's lighting. So I have a front lighting, I have a back lighting. So lighting does matter a lot. All right. Hi Toa. Okay, so if you guys are just new here or just like landed on this chat itself, just type in a hi or give me some love, give him some hearts right there. All right, and then let me just post some later announcement right here so that everyone knows we are live ready. Okay. Okay. Yep. So if you are here for the first time, welcome again. Yep. Okay, let me just start sharing my deck for tonight. Okay. Yep. So the biggest title for tonight, C shareholder, you must be celebrating called investor. So my portfolio also benefit from this 20% jump. Oh, hi, Serene. Okay. Yep. So tonight we were talking about this, but let's go some recap. So beginning of the years, we have regroup, rebrand, we have re-strategized how we're going to share our content. So a lot of companies we talk about like big names like Nvidia, Google, Apple, even we talk about Meta, Microsoft. So these are companies that we discuss so that we understand what are the big companies are doing, and from there build our understanding towards the investing market. And all these common name you felt more relevant when we listen all these big names because you might be the user, you might be their supplier at times, or maybe you are just like listening or watching other people using it. But at least you know all these big names. And when it comes to numbers, analyze company, it will be much more easier. All right. But I also talk about small companies, smaller, less well known, like for example, SoftBank. We cover like the beginning of the year, and then last week we also talk about SoftBank as well. So these are companies that may portray some investing opportunities that we thought it was also good to share with our community. All right. Okay, and last week we talked about what is team cooking. All right, so for members, so if you subscribe our weekly Well Pulse, you can always go to our Goodwill community. In the exclusive portion, this all the recordings are up there. Or if you have a snippet, short snippets, always go to our YouTube channel. Watch our YouTube shorts right there. So anyone, if you're on this YouTube live, if you have watched some of the YouTube clips that we have posted up for the last few weeks, I will just type in yes or type in soon if you have not, right? So all the sessions that we have run for the past 1 month itself, we have cut out into small bite-sized pieces. So instead of like the whole 40 minutes, we cut out in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, so that it helps you to watch this video or understand the topic much more easier. Yeah, thanks Toa for responding. Yeah, thank you Toa. So if you like it, just continue to support it and then click some like and love about it. All right. So market is still in green mode. Nothing very fancy about it. So market is keep on the all-time high lah. Right. Although it's like slowly inching upward. It's not like the one green candle up, but market is still going upwards. Last week or even the week before, which is like C Limited, we'll be talking about it tonight. So on holding as well. Two newly listed companies like Circle, CoreWeave. If you look at Nvidia investing portfolio, CoreWeave is one of their biggest so-called investing so-called shares out there right now. And AMAT, JD.com, or even Birkenstock if you wear Birkenstock shoes. All right. And this week itself, we have a lot more companies that we be going on announcement. For example, we have Amer Sports. So if you know Fila, the brand FIA Fila is under Amer Sports. And then Xpeng. So I think Hui Kong also talked about Xpeng quite a bit. And then we also have Baidu, the China version of Google. We have Futu, any Mumu user right here. If you're a Mumu user, Futu is the one that you contribute your so-called commissions towards. So Food Holding is also one of our so-called provider. We also share with our users, Mumu Holdings. They have right now very actively pushing out their so-called Mumu AI. I use it recently. I think their Momo AI is quite good in like summarizing, giving you some summary of the investor like so-called updates. So if you have like you Momo access, if you use Momo, just try out their Momo AI. I think it's quite good. Tiger also have Tiger AI, so you can just try it yourself. So it's more of like their customized GPT that allow investors to pick up the company information, company background, even company business model in a very short snippet manner. All right. So on Thursday itself, Bilibili, the Chinese YouTube, or some of the office software like Workday, Intuit, or even Zoom will be announcing their earnings this week. So this is another busy week. So all these company discussions will be in our community.google.com. Yeah, you will see that our discussion right there right now is still picking up some momentum. So if you have not joined our community.google.com, so this is a link, or just type in community.google.com, or just scan this QR code to join our community portion. All right. So the first topic of the day, the Jackson Hole. All right. So maybe I will have some feel from the ground when we talk about Jackson Hole. If this is the first time you heard about this thing called Jackson Hole, just type in a one, stand for the first time. If you heard it multiple times, you say a two, just type in a two. So from here, you can have some feeling like what are the so-called community have been like learning about or have been knowing about some of the news out there. So Hui Kwan is the first time, Daniel the first time. All right, Toa also first time. All right. At first, when I thought about like when I heard about this term called Jackson Hole, I thought, what is the hole? What hole you are talking about? Jackson Hole. Who is Jack? Why there's a Jackson Hole? All right. So Jackson Hole actually is a place. It's a place whereby they host all the bankers, all the so-called money managers from like the finance like ministries or the banking industry, the financial analysts together to talk about money. All right. So this is one of the very big event happen in US every single year. And whenever there's this event, Fed chairman, which is this year, which is Jerome Powell, they are supposed to give some speech. And a lot of time, the speech carries some informations that will move the market. So that's why whenever there's Jackson's Hole symposium coming up, this is the event whereby a lot of traders or even some of the investors will look into to find out is there any insights that the finances or fiscal policy will move the market. So these are the things that we will look into when we talk about Jackson Hole. All right. So Jackson Hole is an event where the so-called the policymaker or even central banker all around the world will come together. We talk about their economic so-called challenges lah, and long-term policy challenges. So how does it start? It started in 1978. Actually, back then, the main purpose is talk about agriculture economy. It's just about because it Jackson Hole is at the place called Kansas City, so it's all the farmer places. So in the early days, it's just talk about like agriculture economy. But in the 1980s, they start to talk about a lot more about the global monetary policies, and this is when the events carry more weight. And these policymakers always go back to the same place. It's like holy place whereby they always go back to the same place to talk about money. All right. In some of the years, when Fed chairman delivered their speech, it moved the market a lot because it hints a lot of how the policymakers would move the market or change the market. And every year, the Fed chairman will shed some lights on it. And a lot of time, you look at the signals of the so-called like interest rate, inflation, or even monetary policies. All right. Something like FOMC, but this one is deliberately talking, gathering all the different policy speaker around the world, not just US. All right, around the world, not just US. But particularly in some of the years, is very very important. For example, in the 1989, the Alan Greenspan, the Fed chair back then, shaped the long-term inflation strategy. So back then they talk about like long-term inflation strategy. They mark at so-called the 2%. So this is the key numbers that released back in 1989, or even like in 2000 2005, right? There's this like Raja or the Rajan that's talk about the risk in financial system. Actually, it's an early hint of 2008 so-called financial crisis. Yeah, and 2010, if you recall, 2008, we just have our so-called financial crisis, right? In 2010, back then the Fed chairman, which is Ben Bernanke, uh, he gives some hints about qualitative earning. Like QE is like a terms that is like very long ago, right? No, it actually it's still long ago. It's like if you think about it, right, it's like 15 years ago, really. But back then, oh, right now a bit this like expose my age. So 2010 when I was still in school, actually, QE is a very common term or very common things that we talk about in schools, where we talk about so-called quantitative earning, whereby the Fed, the government printing money. So this is the place whereby Ben Bernanke disclosed or shared a bit of lights that they will be doing this QE. So if you think about it, if hindsight lah, when this all these thing or policies changes will be announced, right, in this single most important event, right, where you'll be shaping the world or changing the world, right? Do you think it's important to listen to what Fed chair will be sharing in this event? If you think so too, just type in a yes, or just type in one, or just type in anything. You say, yeah, we should look into this Jackson Hole event. All right. So in 2020, Powell also shared about the average inflation targeting. So these are all things whereby in the Fed, so-called in the Jackson Hole symposium, the Fed chair will share. And this particular year, uh, 2025, it will happen in this Wednesday to Friday, and the Fed chair speech will be on Friday itself. So the Friday market would have some volatility. So do expect some volatility if you are trading the market. All right. Mm, okay. And just to add some pointer lah. So in this particular year itself, it's just about labor market and transition. I think it's talking a lot more like how AI or how AI have shift in terms of like productivity, and how would this change the demographic or even macroeconomic policies itself, right? So stay tuned on Friday. We will learn about more about how they want to change, or maybe they'll give some light whether they would like to reduce the interest rate on September. So I think this is one of the most important like symposium in the recent years lah. Okay, all right. Maybe sometimes to share about like what happened like went through the last week lah. So last week itself, together with my wife and my kids, I went to Jeju, and I'm back on Sunday itself, and then fully recharged. And then if you heard my voice, I think my cough is so called 90% recovered. It still have some like cough. It's not like I learned this morning from Jin Xian. It's like mycoplasm. In Chinese, maybe we call it 百日咳. So it's like some irritate throat or irritate flame that always hanging there, but you just got irritated and you just cough. Yeah. Jiaxuan also recover. Yeah, also recover. 90%. Yeah. Oh, coughing, but it's 90% recover. But let me share with you some of the things that I observe right there, and I think maybe I would like to share with you guys how I relate to in terms of investing. So first of all, one of the things that when we talk about investing, we always like to go for the hottest like topic, hottest stock, hottest investment opportunity, so that we might, if we pick up right, we can ride the wave. So in traveling, right, my wife looked for a lot of what is it called? The Instagrammable shop. So this particular Instagrammable shop, if you look at the left, right, is very beautiful, very nice. It's a tangerine shop. Um, but when I went there, right, yeah, it's very beautiful. You can take very beautiful photos. But the food right there is like meh, it's like really meh. So sometimes is the hottest thing might not be the most stupid things for us. For me, it's like the neighborhood shop, neighborhood restaurant, like like it's not the main like level one. It's like level two. You need to climb up a flight of stairs, and then you just go in. They have a very simple menu. Yeah, just a very simple abalone rice. Abalone rice. Yeah, this bill is cheaper than this drinks. Yeah, so sometimes things are very great if there's a lot of packaging, a lot of marketing. But for us, like come to investing, right, we just go for the things that's suitable to us, right? So investing, don't always go for the hottest one. Go for the investment opportunities that you thought was most suitable to you. For example, the things that you understand the most, the things that you know about it the most. So this is the learning number one that I got there. And second thing, one of the conclusion that I get from going to foreign country, I think taxi driver worldwide is the same. Why? I've drive for almost 1 week right there, and I was annoyed by the so-called the highway lah, the main road on in Jeju. Why? Because in main road in Jeju, right, the max speed is 70. Yeah, it's ridiculous for Malaysian. 70. 70. Main road 70. Singapore 90, we also say, wow, cannot take it really. Jeju 70. So it's like relatively slower. And not just that, a lot of like on the main right, there's a lot of traffic lights, and there's a lot of different like speed limit, right? So there's range from 30, 50, 60. And if you go to some city, right, or go through some cities, right, if you go through a few school, it's like 30 kilometer per hour one. And then you need to go to traffic light. And then sometimes 30 kilometer per hour, right, is like uphill one. So it's like for me, right, I when I go through school, I don't know whether should I like put my legs on the gas pedal on the brake pedal because it's like if I put on gas, right, I exceed the limit. If I put on brake, right, I don't know like the car can move or not. Yeah, 70 km. So it's like very tough, right? But I get a conclusion. I only get to take a taxi the last day. And I thought actually it's better if I take the taxi the first day to understand how local drive. Because once I take a taxi, I sit in the car, I know actually the tricks to drive is you can speed up whenever there's no camera, and you just slow down when there's camera. And then there always a gap whereby you can slow down in the immediate time so that will not get caught by the camera. So yeah, so the moral of story, just take a taxi when you are there for the first day. For the rest of the day, you know how to drive a car. Yep. But conclusion is even taxi driver, they need like time and effort to learn the road, to sort of sharpen the skills so that they know how to play with the rule. So just like Henio, the so-called the dive lady diver to capture all the seafood, right? They need time and effort to own the skill. Just like in investing, if I just new in the market, just like I so-called like first time driver in Jeju, right? Wow, waste time, waste time, waste a lot of time driving. But over the time, when I get better, knowing what to do, how to drive, what the skill, what's the tips, so I get better in driving, just like investing. So if you are just investing in the market for 1 2 years, it's very easy to sway by what the market say, what the people say, and then you get swayed by the market. But when come to so-called investing, when you develop it across the different market cycle, different years, right? That's where you gather more investing skill and also emotional control when there's a market volatility. Yep. So this is the second thing. Any skill need time and effort to own. All right. The third thing is this. Your time will come sooner or later. So this is London Bagel Museum, one of the most like Instagrammable place people will go to for their bagels. But 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 I think their biggest is just but the story is this. So London Bagel Museum is one of the so-called like the go-to bagel store in Jeju, Seoul, or even Tokyo. And if you go there, right, the queue number is crazy, like don't know 90 or whatever, just to queue for a bagel. And then I don't know how many hours you need to wait just for a bagel. Um, but for us as an investor, right, actually we don't need to go to the mainstream. You always can go for so-called subculture or sub lane. So for example, when we go for a drive, right, I don't go for main road. I just why not just go to the seaside road? And when we go to seaside road, that's where I chanced upon a souvenir store where they charge very affordable, like in terms of like all these item right here is like $1 to $2 to $5 compared to all those like in the city, right? 5 8 $10. I find very cool gift right there that I bought for my team. Yeah, all wheel team lah. So we have the wheel postcard, wheel pen, wheel clip, whatever, which is very cute lah. And then more importantly, after we purchase, remember to log into your so-called expense budget, so-called your expense tracker, so that you can track your expense. Yep. So this is the thing. Your time will come, and then you get good opportunities, good price, good value, and then that's where you capture it. All right. So if you are yet to use your so-called expense tracker and you like to track your expense, right? Just download this Google Buddy. Very simple. Just scan this QR code. You're good to go. All right. Next market update that I want to share with you guys is this. What's up on United Health? All right. I believe you guys will have. I believe you use Tiger Boss card. Yeah, exactly. I use Tiger Boss card. So if you see the snapshot, right, it's like the Tiger app lah. Tiger app transaction. I just snap it and then I just upload it into our Telegram, the Telegram chatbot, right, the Goodwill Buddy, and that just categorize it and then lock into my expense. Where's our student gift? This Jeju trip, right? I that's the only time that that top up my Tiger card to spend money because I thought there's so many cute wheels, right? Why not just bring some back? Right? We have our original wheel, not the Jeju wheel. We have our original wheel, Rupert. So if I haven't met Rupert, so I haven't met Hui Kong in KL as well. So yeah, I think I should really arrange one to KL very very soon. Hi Samuel. Yep. Okay. So United Health. So we talked about it last week. Just talk about it last week. United Health. What does it mean? What happened? Why is the drop? The change of CEOs. There's a lot of like so-called fraud being like fish out. Yeah. So that's why the share price went down 50%. But after this share price down, and then I think last week lah, or a few days ago, our very very respectable investor out there got into this company, and then a lot of news come to surface. All right, and it's none other than Warren Buffett. All right, so Warren Buffett just disclosed in their SEC filing that they have just bought 5 million shares worth up to $1.6 billion. Yeah, into United Health. So United Health is close to 200 billion companies. So right now they have invested 1.6 billion. So they have a sizable, like close to like, if I'm not wrong, in my last calculation, it's like 0.8%. So close to 1%, close to 1% of United Health. How do you think that, hey, actually, his action carry some weight? If you think it's carry some weight, everyone just type in a one. Just type in one, or just type in, yeah. So we have a lot more people out there. So you have Esther, you have like Coach Dave, you have like Samuel Dave. Yep. So yeah. So if you heard me, just type in one. I know you guys are new here. Yep. So our style of interaction is really very simple. Just type in one, just type in hi, so that I can keep on like sharing with you guys. If you guys can follow me along the way. All right, 1% only. Yeah. So if I can invest in 1% of United Health of one so called close to 2 billion, right? I don't mind. I don't mind if I got that money. All right, but nevertheless, this is the thing whereby if being like surface, although there's like CEO change, there's like justice investigation, and the moment that Buffett said Buffett news disclosed that invest, right, the market just surged 13%. You say, shit, I should have do something. I should at least buy a call or something. Yeah, but I didn't. I just happily traveling last week. Right. I don't know any of you guys like did any like uh so-called action back then. You also 1%. So the stream is about WealthPulse, is our so-called about the investing market. We talk about the market updates. We talk about so-called companies. Yep. So thanks Ekomora, and yeah, PR. Thanks for tapping one. All right. So actually, if you go back to some of the filings that people are buying into United Health, right? Actually, it's not just Warren Buffett buying it, but because it's Warren Buffett, they have loads of money right there. So it being raised. So other than Warren Buffett, right, there's like investor like David Tepper, from Uplosa Management, Stephen Mandel, or even Renaissance Technologies. If you know this person called Ray Dalio, he's the founder of Renaissance Technologies. So these are the companies, big names, have already been investing into United Health. And you ask, they have so many issues, there's so many problems in this business. Why they are still vested or they put their money in this company? What's the reason? Okay, Michael Burry too. Yes, exactly. If I'm not wrong, Michael Burry, they're using call options. They're using call, not just using so-called invest into that company shares. He's using like call options. All right. So some of the things that they thought like in terms of like United Health, their situation right here is temporary in nature. So even if there's some like investigation by the DOJ, is temporary. So they thought right now price are all ugly stuff, but it still come up with something looks pretty good because the valuations looks shine out because of the price, right? And some of the things that bring confidence to them is like United Health also announced that they comply with all those investigation, and then that's why some of the investors out there they thought is like the the sell off is like overreaction, is over exaggerations. So the self is like it's not to say that nonsensical. It's like the self is too far. It's too far. It's too far off. Right. It's overreaction from market. So they thought this is another reasons they thought this is a good time to invest. So this is the second reason. The third, all right. So one of the things they thought, all right, yes, there's some fraud happening out there, and Justice Department are trying to look into it, investigate it into it, and they might have some sanctions on their Medicare program, but they thought their sanction would not be too severe, right? Why? Because they are still the biggest so-called insurers in US, and then they are being seen as a too big to fail entity. So this is what they thought. This is the third reason why the market thought this is why they put the money into it. All right. Lastly, even the government also understand the so-called the healthcare costs have increased tremendously. The costs have increased. The not just the capital, even the equipment, the service, all price increase because of inflation, right? So that's why they also talk about increase the reimbursement rate for the Medicare Advantage. So through this reimbursement increase, it will save up some cost, the revenue will flow to the bottom line for all these insurer. So this is a thing whereby, hey, they thought, hey, if this increased reimbursement did happen, it will help the business itself. All right. Lastly, lastly, the last pointer why these investors look into it is really, if you look into their PE ratios, it's really merely 13 times. It's very low, right? Compared to all this tech stock, right? Their price to sales is 100 times. Yeah. So not talking about their PE, yeah. So their price to so-called earnings is at 13 times. It's very, very so-called low, like in historically. So this is when, in terms of valuation, as a vivid value investor in the market or the most well-known value investor in the market, Buffett investment do sounds like a vote of confidence lah. So that's why people like when they talk about like following the gurus, right? One of the gurus they will follow Warren Buffett. When Warren Buffett buy into something, they'll go into buy into something as well. So this is the few so-called reason the markets are buying to United Health, even though they have 50% drop. All right. So if you are good with it, everyone just type in one. Yeah. So these are the few reasons the market why they are buying. Other than understanding the situations that the market face, what are the pointers that we could look into, like we covered last week. So this is what the markets are perceiving. All right. So yes, for us, we must form our own independent so-called thinking. We must form our own conclusion. So we take all these like so-called like market news or market so-called sharing as a reference, not as a action taking pointer, but as a reference for us to sort of build up our investing confidence lah. All right. But just to share with you guys, Warren Buffett only put in uh, 1 billion, so 1.6 billion out of the 300 billion cash. 1.6 billion out of 300 billion cash. So it's very, very, very small of his cash pile. I repeat that, cash pile. So we only put in close to 2 billion out of the 300 billion. So it's like nothing to him. All right. It's peanuts to him. All right. So it's not to say that he all in, or he put in a lot of wealth into this single company. No. Yeah. So even he lost this 2 billion is just nothing. It doesn't move a needle of their portfolio. Right. So for us, if we put our money in, please make sure we do our portfolio allocation. Don't skew your portfolio too much into single stock. He just tried to help United States. I think he will not just try in the sense that buying into equities, he can loan money. So you can loan them at a very affordable rate. So this is what happened to Citigroup or some of the banking companies back then, or comfortable bonds and things like that. But I don't think they are doing comfortable bond on United Health, lah, huh? All right, my exact thought. All right. Okay, so these are the updates on in terms of market news, market updates that we covered. So right now, let's go into the second portion, which is we'll dive into companies that so-called that is market talking about, or companies that worth our look into it, or companies that people who are chit-chatting behind, and then see is there opportunity. So tonight we are talking about C Limited. All right. So before I start, any C Limited investor, if you are C Limited investor, just type in me or yes, or if you are not C Limited investor, just type in a no. So we have quite a big group of people right here tonight. So just follow me along. So we have Johnston Stones. Yeah, Buffett strike again. All right. Abba Taslim. Oh, Abba Taslim, I think you are here last week, right? Okay, Grizzly. All right. Esther Morin KG. All right. Wow, nice one. All right. So thanks for joining me tonight. Yeah. So Kev say no. All right. Okay. And then Rupert say I'm an ex-investors. Hui Kong say user only. Tommy say no. Mijay say no. All right. Shopee user here. Diana say no. Okay. Okay. Right. So I would say quite a majority of you guys are not investors. So just to declare, I'm one of the Shopee investors, or not C Limited investor, not Shopee investor, but also Shopee client. So first of all, thank you for spending money in Shopee, because you contribute to the company growth very well. So continue to use it. Yeah. So in Malaysia, there's a lot more offering. So there's a lot more like so-called like buy now pay laters, or even Mary Bank. So if you have some additional cash, like to gain some interest, you can put into Mary Bank. They also have this like a Mary credit card. So if you're always spending, you want to use some good rates. If you like to use like Mary card, also can. All right. Okay, I reached Liao. No lah, huh? All right. So, in short, Shopee or She Limited actually is a three-headed dragon. So they have these three different businesses are growing, and right now, three of them are profitable business. So, namely, they are Shopee, which is the e-commerce platform that we know about, and there's Money, which is the Shopee Money, so-called their buy now pay laters, their Money Bank, their so-called Money credit card. So these are the Shopee Money segment. The third, which is the gaming entertainment segment, which is Garena. So these are the three different segments. So C Limited, they started off Garena. Then, with their own internet venture, they started Shopee, and after Shopee, they started their Money, all right, which is their financial arm. All right. So just look at the top line on the latest earning. Their top line is impressive. Yeah, their GAAP revenue is growing, their gross profit growing, operating profit growing, even the net income, although it's not growing as fast, they are still slightly growing. All right. But let's look deeper into their each segment. 20% search, Steam Investor are eating. Yeah, yeah. So Steam Investor are happy with the 20% search. All right. So this is snippets in the earnings call. So I just get some of the snippets on the earnings call where their management shared some of the key pointers, key insights of their earnings. So if you just go to their earnings slides or earnings decks, right, there's not much like so-called like insights that share. So always good to go to their so-called earnings call, earnings transcript to find out some insights of the business itself. So this is the insights that Forrest Lee, the CEO or the founder of so-called C Limited, shared about their latest earnings. So very important, they have been growing very fast, and then right now, so-called since the COVID day till now, they are still prioritizing growth. So previously they are prioritizing so-called profitability, right? So right now they are going back to prioritizing growth, right? So prioritizing growth, what does it mean? So here they are expanding their addressable market and capturing more market share. So in other words, they are growing in a market they are not into yet, and they are capturing more market share in the market they are already in. So if you are in Southeast Asia, you see like so-called Shopee, they are more aggressive, they are more friendly, they are more so-called down to earth in terms of like their platform, their deals, their merchants. So there's different experience like shopping online. So if you go to Lazada, you go to like Shopee, you know that they give different like so-called offerings, or even like 7 7 day or 7 7 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 6 6 7 8 8 kind of deals. And for Shopee, they also have a payday, so-called shopping day, like every 25th of the month, you can have a payday shopping. Not really. Singapore don't have Shopee food. Yeah. I only know Forest Gump, right? So these are things that when they prioritize growth, right, what they are prioritizing in. So they have been sharing, they shared that they go into growing their addressable market and capturing more market shares. I see this very, very positive. All right. And then next, other than focusing growth, right, they also focusing their bottom line. So while they are getting like economic skills, they getting better in what they are doing, they also improve profitability. So this is like top line grow, bottom line grow. And they are not just growing their profit, they're also growing their profit with a strong balance sheet. So they're very so-called take cash power in the business itself as well. So these are things that I see very positive, and especially they have turned all their three business positive since second of last year, and they are still growing. So a lot of like tech companies, when they talk about like so-called expanding market, growing market, right? So they may grow at all costs. They may grow at like negative like margins. So right now, Shopee or Shopee Money or even Garena, all of them are profitable business, which is very, very positive. Right. So if you look at their three pillars, right? E-commerce, digital finance, and digital entertainment, right? You see, although their e-commerce have the biggest pie in terms of revenue, but actually their EBITDA is comparable. So that's why their digital finance service is one of the most so-called like exciting segment of business, because their digital finance service bring them more margin. So you can see 800 billion, so-called 800 billion of their revenue, right? They are bringing close to 250 million kind of like EBITDA margin, right? EBITDA back here, and they are digital entertainment as well. So these are the two segments right now having a very high profit margin at this moment, right? Yeah. So you can see that their e-commerce get revenue is growing, their loan book is growing, and their digital earnings booking, which is the guarantee side, is also growing. Very, very, very positive. So these are the text whereby you can see in their earnings, also called their earnings slides. But let's dive into a few segments that caught my eye. So previously, I didn't put much attention on edtech. I thought that their edtech is just like Amazon, or even like Etsy. It just provide their so-called like their merchants another tool to get exposure, to get upwards, to get more pockets of opportunities, to get exposure for business or deals. All right, but I always thought if I'm a platform provider, I still need to charge for advertising, right? Then I charging you two times. I charge you for selling things on my platform, and I charge you for listing your things upward. Right? I said, but the thing is this: if putting up ads give you more money, right? Hey, then why not putting ads, right? And this will only be useful or benefit to the so-called the merchant if it get more ROI. All right. So this is what they share. The number of seller using our ad products rose by 20%. Wow, actually it's quite a bit, huh? Means their seller right now are putting more ads, 20% more. And the ads paying seller, right, are increasing their ad spend 40% more year on year. Means those who have been using their ad services, right, they are paying 40% more. Wow, quite impressive. And there's a reason why they put in money. So there's 8% of conversion rate uplift. If any marketer out there, right, any 1% uplift, right, will be seen as significant. 8%, close to 10%. Obviously, if I can uplift my revenue by so much, right, or conversion by so much, I will definitely put in more uh, advertising dollars. And that's why they have improved. And that's also the reason why their ad take rates have almost like increased by 70 basis points, 0.7%. Right. So this is kind of like additional income other than like their Shopee commerce platform, their so-called like the so-called the GMV tick rate. So this ad tech can increase their tick rate. All right. So this is kind of like eye opener. All right. But if you look at their final figures, right, actually their take rate is not increased by a lot. But I think at tech maybe they can give more so-called insights on how much their ad services are able to get in terms of like revenue as a whole. But from right here, the take rate didn't increase as much lah. And next thing, as a buyer or as a user, right? So previously, like Amazon, there's like so-called Amazon membership. So the Amazon Prime member, right? You can get like so-called same day delivery, zero cost, like so-called like delivery fees. And then other than that, you can use like their Prime services, for example, their so-called their TV channel, right? They have this Amazon Prime whereby you can watch the movie or whatever, which come with the Amazon Prime membership. But I thought like paying for like free shipping or whatever is like no point, right? But Amazon have all these services, so that's why it make more sense paying for Amazon like 299 per month, like, if I'm not wrong. Amazon 299 per month. Shopee, they have their own VIP program as well. I didn't know. I think it's not it's right now it's currently not available in Singapore or Malaysia. It's available, if I'm not wrong, in Indonesia, Thailand, and Manila. I think they start off from Manila. All right. And then right now, Indonesia, they also have. So right now, they'll have this like VIP program, just like Amazon Prime. So they can enjoy like so-called like a free delivery or discount coupon and stuff like that. And the membership had grown 50% quarter on quarter. And VIP members bought a monthly average around 30% more after subscribing. They say, wow, right now after I become a member, right, I purchase even more. Right. So this membership is like 14,900 rupiah everyone. So if you convert to Sing dollars, right, it's just $1 each, $1 plus per month. But this $1 plus, right, yeah, $1 plus like US dollar, roughly US dollar, $1. And with this $1 US dollar, you have made your member purchase 30% more. Obviously, they will not just purchase like US dollar or Sing dollar, $1 equivalent stuff, they will purchase more, right? So 30% is really quite a bit. And then they also have roughly 20% higher retention rate compared to non-members. People who become a member, they have higher retentions or coming back to purchase. And then if they purchase 30% more. So I think, hey, actually this program is quite well received in region like Indonesia and Thailand. Right, so even Thailand have their versions, and then they're going to Vietnam. Yeah, so they start with Indonesia, right now Thailand, Vietnam. So all in all, right now they have close to 2 million member. So actually not fantastic. There's definitely there's a lot more room to grow, but right now they have 2 million. If they continue to grow that, every 1 million people that join in, 30% more transaction, 30% more GMV, 30% more revenue for the merchant, and merchants stay in. They use advertisement to boost up. So I think this is the ecosystem they are building up. Their flywheel is going very well, right? So other than that, Shopee also have streamer partnership lah. So we just went there like last month itself together with Jiashun. So it's a YouTube partnership that whereby if you're running your YouTube, you want to share some of the products, for example, this mic stick or stuff like that, or even your tools like your Osmo, your anything that you use, like for example your kids product, you can just share your Shopee link, Shopee affiliate link into your YouTube channels. Right, this help the so-called content creator to get more revenue. But of course, it helps Shopee to get more revenue as well. So right now there's 7 million YouTube's features Shopee product link, which is, if you think about it, 7 million, okay lah, not so like not very like a lot in the sense that with the size they have, right? But actually it's a starting point that they get into Southeast Asia market. All right. So this is the segment they like to address, especially like counter like TikTok shop, counter TikTok shop. And one of the things that I learned from some of the friends out there, like share with me. All right. So right now, if you think about it, TikTok Shop or even TikTok, actually they are putting more resources on AI front compared to their shop front. All right. Because right now TikTok would like to build their AI capabilities, because in the end of the day, TikTok is still a media company. It's a very media rich company. If they can sharpen their AI, help their content creator to build better AI so-called content using AI and stuff like that, actually they have a forerunning so-called like capability or ability to grow in the so-called short so-called short reel or short media content space. So this is the thing whereby Shopee take this opportunity to go big in like the e-commerce segment into like this online live so-called kind of like shop experience. All right, market are wow today, exactly. So other than that, one of the things that people will be very, very much interested is the Shopee growth in Brazil. Yep. So Brazil, they are growing very well. So right now, they would like to go in a higher value product. So for example, a premium product. So with premium product, with percentage, they can get more money now, in short. All right. So right now, they are in the fifth year. And even if like they are already just in their fifth year, right? They are still growing fast and they are operating profitability. So good news for all so-called limited investors. And then they also share this: 30% of our active sellers has their first selling experience online through their platform. 30% first time on their platform. And half of them, 50% of them, relying on Shopee as their primary source of income. In other words, they are so-called seeing Shopee as their main go-to platform. All right, so this is a very positive news that I see right here. Means their seller are reliant on Shopee and Shopee are supporting the seller. All right, and next, money. So money also growing very well. Just some quick update. Their loan book grow by 90%, almost doubled in a year. Right now, 6.9 billion. And then their EBITDA 50% year on year. SME loan exit 30 million. And what more impressive is their 90-day non-performing loan is stay as low as 1%, just like the banks. Yeah, so it's very, very magnificent. They are very, very good at this, and their revenue is growing, right? So some of the key things here is this: there's these three things that they did well, or why they did well in money. So these three things why they did well in money is, first, because of the ecosystem they have, is deeply integrated with like a Shopee ecosystem, and with the Shopee ecosystem, they can really target those who like to build their credit track record. So these are the new user or new people that like to build their track record in terms of like credit track record. And lastly, with AI, they can improve their credit model. So that's why their NPL, the non-performing loan, can like so-called slowly go down to near to 1% right now. So it's really impressive right now with the line of product like their Shopee Pay Later, their off Shopee Pay Later, and cash loan product. So money is growing like Garena as well. So I don't want to go further into gaming. So for those who are in gaming, you'll know better than me. So like CAF. So one of their so-called Free Fire. I don't know what's the game lah. It's like growing very popular. People are playing right now, and their ARPU, everything is growing very well. So in the end of the day, let's conclude it. So right now, time is 8:50. I think I'm on time on the 20 minutes mark. So right now, C Limited, they are so-called because of the growth, their valuations have went up. So from like the beginning of the year, it's like in the so-called 1 point something each. Right now, it's like so-called 5 times each. So it's like they are high of the in terms of like 3 year valuations, right? So the average is like three for them. So if you go to like, if I'm not wrong, let's go to this. Yeah. So these are their peers. So if you look at their peers, right, Alibaba is like usually in the years, right, is 1 time, right, and it's close to 2 time. There's a reason because right now they are growing their cloud segment, so they are gathering a lot of like so-called growth in terms of cloud. So that's why right now they are close to 2 right here. If you look at Amazon is like 3.68 times with their Amazon Web Services that is growing very, very well as well. If you look at in the South American region, there's another big e-commerce player called Mercado Libre. So they are at like 4.97 times. Right now, Shopee is at 5.42 times. So Shopee right now, the valuation is at their high. So if you are looking at their so-called like valuations, just to remind you guys, their valuations is at high right now. All right. Yep. So there's always time. There's always time to invest. Yep. So don't need to chase upon high valuations if you find it uncomfortable. So come back to the ending quote of valuation. Price is creature of market mood. And right now, market mode is in greedy mode. All right. When in boom time, it's reset by a greedy buyer. And when it's bust time, it's set by the most fearful seller. So this is by Benjamin Graham, the so-called the father of financial valuation. So just wrap up for tonight. So first, Jackson Hole has a history of like shocking the market, and willpower drop another bombshell on Friday. Let's watch out on Friday. So yeah, so Jackson Hole on Friday. Let's watch out and then see what Jerome Powell will share on that day itself. And Buffett by health. All right, what does that mean, and what he sees that the others of investor or the Wall Street doesn't see, because it has been the valuation is wiped out for 50%. What Buffett and the investors see and the rest didn't see. So we also cover that just now. All right. Lastly, we talk about Shopee 20% stock surge. 20% stock surge. So is there a real growth or is there a hype? So business we just showed you just now. Yeah. So we have just shared with you. Yeah, there's some real growth happening right there. But also don't forget their valuation is at their high side. So this is the portion whereby we share to all so-called publicly all you guys out there. And if you are the investors of all these company, very good. You might have take some opportunities, but if you have not, please make sure you watch out valuation, or and also if you are a trader, watch out this Friday. All right, so this is for tonight. So for those of you who are in our private community, so in a short while, I'll share with you this link. So you can just click on this link or just click on go to your community.google.com to access the Zoom link itself. And then we will talk about another companies that just caught our investor interest, which is ARM. All right. So if you have our community goodwill.com, the link itself, you can just click from there, or else you can just click on this link right here that I'll put right here in the chat. Right. So if you have this access to the community, yep. So you can just go to this page, or else if you are interested in joining our community, I'll welcome you guys to use this. So this is 1 month WealthPulse. You can just join us, like enjoy the 1 month so-called free, and then we have our all recordings as well. So it's after 1 month. If you like it, it's just 9.90 per month. If you don't like it, you can just stop right here and then still continue to enjoy our so-called YouTube live session itself. All right. So for those who are in our private community, you can just move over to Zoom. All right. I will share with you some of the things that I learned from ARM. Very interesting company. Yeah. And one of the surprising thing is actually ARM started partially by Apple as well. I didn't know that. Yeah, ARM partially started by Apple. That's why right now Apple also relying on their services. All right. Yeah, ARM finally. Yeah, Rupert. I hope tonight is a so-called introductory of ARM, because wow, I'll just share very honestly with you. ARM is also another secret monopoly. A secret monopoly. I didn't know about it until I learned about the company. Yeah, so they are, yeah, I don't know. Yes, I don't know. Yeah, I know ARM just listed like close to a year. Yeah, I really didn't really spend much time because I really don't know about semiconductor company that much. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Rupert. Uh, I always just like previously I would just focus on software businesses, software companies, because I thought that one easier to understand, huh? But over this last like 1 2 years, I studied a lot more about like I read the book called Chip Wars. I so-called understand how the chip so-called world development, and then obviously these few years, chip or semiconductor has been the central so-called strategic movement from all the countries. Yeah, so that's why I spent some time understanding about them. Jackson Hole, is it rate high or just hype? Very good question. Very good question. It might be a, a surprising move by Jerome Powell. That maybe September he might take a different move. Yeah, maybe September he might take a different. So right now, January, everyone thought September the rate reduction will come in. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yep. So this is the end for the public segment. So for those who are in our so-called private community right now, I'll go to Zoom and I'll start the Zoom session right there. Okay. So for those who are online, yeah, so this is the